Well, hello. I'm Bob Mitchell from Bonnie Acres Ranch in Hemet, California. I've been running a water treadmill for over 20 years and run it continually during that time. We run 7 days a week with it, and we've done wonders of things with it. And I've probably done as many or more than anybody in the business, I imagine. And I know that we're one of the few that were run at that time. There was a few, but not very many. And for injuries and bringing a horse back from the injuries and fractures and things like that, it's just unbelievable. And it's made a believer out of us, and I think it's the only way to start a horse back after they've had injuries. When I was training, I had turbulated a lot of horses in a rubber tub, and I'd just got results out of the world just from that alone, and I just figured the treadmill would help that much more. We've got a unit now from Hydra Horse, the new one out here, and we just love it. We've got a stainless steel treadmill, and it's really a good unit. It's perfect for a horse that's just been laid up and freshened up. A horse that you've let down a little bit to get him cranked up again a little bit. You can take a horse that's been turned out in pasture for 6 months or a year, 45 days, you won't know him. He'll look like he's dead ready to run. I mean, his hair will start slicking off because you're keeping him in warm water, and his hair will start slicking off, and he'll start getting fit, and he'll start acting fit. And especially with quarter horses. Quarter horses, you could do that for 45 days and take them in there and run them. And I'm talking about a horse been off 6 months. You could damn sure do it. You could run off of it. And I've got everybody from Kentucky Derby winners, not per se the Kentucky Derby horses, but we've got owners that have owned them and are our best customers, and they all believe in it now, and we put everything basically that goes back to the racetrack on it, probably 75% of them anyway. And we treadmill about anywhere from 15 to 25 horses a day, and sometimes up to 30, but we've got about 80 horses here, and 20 to 25 is plenty to do. I mean, that's a lot of work. We've had horses come back from fractures, like fractured knees, and you couldn't fold their knee that far. In 30 days, you can lock them. They're just as normal as they can be. The fact is, a lot of those horses have come back and run as good as they ever run. Wow. And they didn't look like, at the point when we started them on the treadmill, they had any chance at all. We start the horses out at 5 minutes for a couple, 3 days, and then we'll jump to a 3-minute interval to 8, and we'll go there 2 or 3 days, and then we'll go on to 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, up to 20 minutes. I have treadmilled horses 30 minutes, and they really get fit after 30 days. But basically we keep it around 20 minutes, and we keep them on there about 45 days before we send them in. I like 45 days. Some of these fellas want you to go cut it a little bit, but I'd rather keep them on there 45 days because I think that other 15 days really does a lot of good, really a lot of good. 99% of them, after they've been in it 10, 15 days, they act like they love it. I mean, they're completely at home in it, and they're really good in it. And I'm talking about horses that was nasty, horses that might have wanted to explode the first time or two you put them in it, but we could get along with them enough to get them started, you know. And it's just unbelievable. It really is. As far as getting into other things like yearlings and stuff like that for shows, I think it'd be unbelievable. But we haven't done much of that because we haven't had the opportunity to do so, because I just don't keep that kind of horses here in the grounds. I keep older horses that are lay-up horses and that type of business. But we did do a colt last year that Jerry Fanning and I owned together, and when I put him in the sale in October at Barrett's, he just looked like $20 million. He just was beautiful, and he was just a yearling. He looked like he was dead ready to run and to go on with. And anyway, the man that bought him was a man from El Paso, Texas, and he bought the most horses out of Kentucky last year, so this colt must have looked pretty good or he wouldn't have bought him, and he gave a lot of money for him. But I wouldn't have a layup set up without it. It's part of this business, and it would do a lot of other people good too, and other types of businesses connected with horses. Like I say, sales prep and all that, it would just be superb. Be so much better than these walkers and all that stuff that they do with them. Because you can get a horse fit without putting any pressure on him. And you can get him looking good, and his hair will slick off, and it's just unbelievable what you can do with this thing. Hydro Horse is better machine than anything I've seen. Kevin Tisher that owns Hydro Horse and Lynn Turner, his partner, his son-in-law, they've really got a good unit in this one that they've built, and I've helped them some with it, and they've helped me with this system too. But they've got a good setup. It's a very dependable machine.